Hey everybody, so we're here in the kitchen today. We're going to do a little bit of film developing. I've been asked to show how I develop film at home in the kitchen sink. So that's what I'll try and do here for you. So what are we going to need? Well, we'll start with, obviously, we're going to need some film. So today I've actually got 3 rolls to develop. And this is Ilford's HP5 Plus 400 ISO black and white. So I've actually got 3 rolls. I've just taken 2 out because that's all I can do at one time. We're going to need a developing tank, which I got here, the lid. It's all airtight, or sorry, watertight. I mean, or light tight. Yes, it's tight of something. And we've got 2 spools. These are sort of self-loading. If you've not seen these, they kind of, you ratchet them back and forth and it loads the film on. So, as I don't have a dark room, what I'm going to use is a dark bag, which I'll show you later. Once the film has been developed and I've got the negatives, what I'll do is I'll be able to show you in the light how you load one of these. Obviously outside of the dark bag, and the dark bag is basically just a very large, very heavy canvas type bag that's completely light tight. You put your arms into some elasticated cuffs, and it allows you to work inside and dismantle this and load these up. The other thing you're going to need is a bottle opener to pop the ends off the film. There's a tool for this, but frankly it's just unnecessary. Bottle opener is exactly the same thing. You just want to pop the end off here, and then you can take the spool out and deal with it inside. Okay, just quickly, this is the part I can't show you. I couldn't show you in the changing bag where I loaded the spools up. So these spools, I'm just trying to hold this roll of film, this is one of the ones that was developed. I'll show you with this one how to use it. So these spools come apart, and they're multi-size, so you can use them on different sizes. If you set it to the outside notch there, that's for medium format 120 type film. You've then got another size inside, and then you've got 35mm on the inside. So to load this, again, you're doing this completely in the dark, so you've got to go by feel. You need to be able to recognize, you can see here the rounded edges and the flat edges here. You want the rounded edges away from you so that the flat edges are to you. And then in the bag, you need to push this through. Let this drop here. You need to push this through, and hopefully you can see. You'll see that there's 2 ball bearings in here. Hopefully it'll focus. There's 2 ball bearings. Those are going to act as little locks, and then it's a case of simply rotating this back and forth, just twisting it, and you'll see how the film is now turning around, is now loading. So you can do this quite quickly in the bag. It doesn't take long. 35mm is pretty easy because you can simply pop the top off it and basically refeed it back out through the groove. This is getting bound up in here. So basically that's it. You're going to keep rolling until this goes all the way in, and then you're done. And now you're ready to put this into the tank, again inside the bag, and then it's ready for the developing process. So that's the film spools. Some of these you can order them in whatever size you want, the exact size, so whatever type film you're using. This one happens to be a 3 gauge type. You can use it for 3. The tanks themselves, they come in different sizes. Mine will take 2 35 mils at one time, or one 120. Yeah, so I can do either 2 rolls of 35 or 1 roll of 120. You can get tanks that'll do 3, 4, 5 rolls of 35 mil, and if it does 5 rolls of 35 mil, it's probably 3 rolls of 120, I would think, of the medium format film. And you can get just different size ones. It depends on the batches you're using. As I said, mine is just 2 rolls like this, which is fine. So I had to do 2 batches today for the 3 rolls of film. But I guess if I was doing a lot more, I might get some larger ones, and then you can just batch process them all at one go. It saves a lot of time, headache, and chemicals, because some of the chemicals you can't reuse. So you've got to get rid of them. So yeah, anyways, I'll stick this bit in into this video somewhere just to show you. Now, so that's getting the film loaded. Processing the film is going to require some chemicals. We've got, let me just rearrange these in their correct order. No, I haven't pissed in that bottle. So I'm going to be using Ilford's Ilfotech DDX, and I'm using a 4:1 ratio, so that's 100 milliliters of developer to 400 milliliters of water. For this, I actually need 650 milliliters for the tank. If you have a look, I don't know if we can see it, on the tank, pretty much all the tanks I've ever seen, it will tell you on the bottom what you need. So if you're doing 1 roll of 35 mil, you'll need 375 milliliters of your solutions, whatever they are, developer, stopper, fixer. I'm going to do 2 rolls of 35, so I need 650. Yeah? So that's what I've prepared here. I've got my developer, 650. Then we're going to be using the Ilfo stop, and that's at a ratio of 25 milliliters of stop to 475 milliliters of water, and again brought that up to 650. And then the rapid fixer, which is a 4:1 mix again, and same thing, 650. Temperatures are reasonably crucial. We want 20-degree solutions. I don't know if you'll be able to see. So currently this is at 22.6. I've heated it up a little bit too much, but that's fine, it'll cool down. If need be, put some water in the sink, either hot or cold, depending on how you want to adjust it, and just put the tub inside, and it will you'll be able to adjust the temperature reasonably well. So those are the 3 solutions. The extra bottles here are just the storage containers that I use for the excess that I mix up. So that's pretty much it. And then of course you're going to need to keep track of your processing. I use an app called, you can see this, Massive Dev Chart. This is a fantastic little program. You set up what you're doing, what your task is. So in this case I'm going to do HP5 Plus film with the Ilfotech DX4 with a 1:4 ratio. So if we just go in here and create a new one, you can see all of the film types that are here. So you basically want to go through and find your film, whether it's 35 mil, 120, or sheet film. After that, you'll choose what your developer is, what your fixer is, and all that kind of stuff. I'll put a link to the Android shop, the Android Play for this app as well in the description. So, you're right, it's simple to use. You've set up, and of course it's going to crash for me. We've set up the film type, which is there, 400 ISO, 35 mil. I'm using that. With this you can set up your limits as well, so we actually want 650. So this works out what your mix is. So you need 130 milliliters of developer, or the solutions, and 520 of water. Gives you what you need. So brilliant, isn't it? It also then tells you how long, so where's my finger here? 9 minutes at 20 degrees. If you adjust the temperature, it's 21, it's going to change the times. It then goes on to tell you, so your total process time is going to be 9 minutes for the developer, 1 minute for stop bath, 5 minutes for fixing, and 10 minutes for the final wash. I don't use a wetting agent, although I should. I just don't have it, and that's about another 30 seconds or so. I may try using some dish soap. You can use a drop of dish soap in some water for the final rinse to act as a wetting agent, so I may try that. Anyways, using the application is simple. You're going to push start, and that rotating container that you see there, that's telling you that you need to be shaking the container, twisting it, twisting the container around to make sure that you mix it and get all the bubbles out and all that sort of stuff. I guess the sound is, there we go. So that's telling you that you're going to do this, and it'll tell you when to stop shaking. You can rest it. I'll just stop this and reset it. Basically the app will tell you when to shake it, when to set it down, when to move on to the next stage. So after you've completed the development, it'll pause and it'll wait for you to start the next stage. So you'll tip out your development solution, put in the stop bath, and restart, and it just carries on. It's very clever. Okay, so the film has now been loaded into the canister. There's 2 rolls of film in here, and these are the leftovers. You get the empty canisters, the ends, the spools for each one, and you need to trim off the leader. It just helps a little bit because of the way that it's been cut so it fits into the camera. It's best to trim that off so that it's flat. It goes into the spools a lot easier. And then there's the dark bag. Give you a quick look around in the dark bag. Oh yeah, and of course you need a couple of tools, a pair of scissors and a bottle opener. Swiss Army knife is the perfect thing. You don't have a lot of room in here. Whoop, focus. You don't have a whole lot of room in here because the way that just the size of it. You can see here there's a zip. So you zip that across, Velcro the flap shut, and then it uses, set it down for half a second here. There's a double elasticated cuff to make sure that the light stays out. This one is not quite as powerful elastic so that it sits more comfortably on your arm, and then this one here is quite aggressive. It tends to leave some marks. I tend to go the inside cuff, I go to the crease of the elbow. This top cuff I get just above that, and that's fairly comfortable. It gives you lots of room to work around inside, so you can imagine you've got access to everything. Although the bag looks really big, it's not actually once you've got stuff inside. There's not that much room because it's super thick double or triple layered fabric. Right, so off to the next stage, and we start the chemicals. So let me get the chemical temperatures adjusted because it's still a bit hot. Set that there. Let's see, what are we at here? 22.2, so we're still a bit hot. I need to cool these down, and I'll get the camera set up on the tripod, and then we'll be able to see what the next step is. I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Right, we are now ready to go. we've got our film in the light-tight canister. We've got our developer at the right temperature. We've got coffee. This video is sponsored by MTFU. Not really. But they're a great bunch of guys. Check them out. I'll put a link somewhere down below. Oh, good coffee. Right. We are now ready to go. Yeah, can you see that? Pour the chemicals in here. When we're done, they drain out through these holes. This lid keeps the chemicals in. No light can get in because of the way the tank is designed. There we go. So, we're now ready to go. I am going to pour these chemicals in and start the timer on the first process. So, we've got the developer. First step. Lid on. A couple bangs to get all the air out. And awesome. We can't start the timer with the gloves on. So you can hear the ticking. It's telling me to agitate this now. This will go for 1 minute, and then we let it rest and soak, and then it'll come back. I think it's every 30 seconds. We agitate it again for another period of time, 10 seconds I think it is, and this goes on until we hit the 9 minutes completion. And the first agitation is a whole minute, I believe, and from what I remember. And then, yeah, we just rinse and repeat this process. So I'll probably stop the camera or cut the film or speed it up or do something to save you watching 25 minutes of this. Alright, so that's the first agitation cycle completed. Hopefully you can see that now. So we're on the development stage, 1 minute 16 seconds into it, and I'll bring you back in a little while. Okay, so that's 9 minutes. We now take out the developer. Save that, and we'll put the stop in. And we continue, and this is for 1 minute. Try not to get too much chemical all over my other hand here. Alright, and 5 more minutes. It's pretty much the same kind of process as the developer, but just 5 minutes instead of 9 minutes. So, I'll speed this section back up again. And that's 5 minutes. So, we can now tip out the fixer. Ooh, that's a pretty color. It's come out a bit pink. That's weird. Haven't seen that before. Right, well, we can now open this. And we have to start the cold water. Start the rinsing cycle. The rinsing cycle is a 10-minute cycle to make sure that all of the chemicals are off the film now. Okay. That is 10 minutes. So, now, these out. I need one more quick rinse here. I'm going to try using just a drop of soap, literally a drop. And see if this works as a wetting agent. Nothing else, the film will smell very aptly. Okay. Alright, get myself organized. Zoom in, see if we can check out the results. Not holding my breath on this, but we will see. Well, there are actually some pictures. That's amazing. They're amazingly out of focus from the look of it, but we'll wait and see. Let's see, can you see the negative there? So the little cameras that we got, they don't, let me see if I can get this to focus a bit. You can see how they've shot right over top of the teeth marks. So the film itself doesn't actually line up very well. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the video here for now. And, sticking everything. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to hang these up. I've got one more roll of film to process, and then we'll be done. So, I'll probably put a few more bits in here, maybe some stills or something, but I'll put something in, and yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, well, that's the end of this video for the most part now, I think. Developed 3 rolls of 35mm. Again, these were ones that the Scout shot on a pinhole camera that we bought. We bought a bunch of these, I think, off Amazon. They were £9 each. They're not brilliant cameras. The reviews are rather mixed. They do work. So, you know, here's one roll of film. You can see the negatives here. There are pictures. They're not very clear. I think they need to be longer exposures, or they were being handheld and it's just too shaky. So I don't know if you can see. Let me adjust this into the light a little bit more. Where was it here? You've got this negative here, which has got something 70 on it, I think. You've got another, which looks like a Union flag. Another Union flag shot. Something. So I'm going to scan these up. And maybe I'll stick a few of the photos in at the end of the video just so that you've a little slideshow. I'm not expecting too much from them. As I said, they're very blurry. I think they're being handheld, which is not really ideal for a pinhole camera. That really should be on a tripod or a table or something steady. But, you know, it's not too bad. So 2 rolls of film came out quite well. There's definitely a lot of photos on them. The quality of them is yet to be seen. The other roll of film, we had a malfunction where the camera dropped, and there was the group thought there was probably 4 or 5 photos, maybe 6 that were taken. Those ones were exposed to light when the back popped open on this camera. They're not great locking mechanisms on these. I'll put a photo in. I'll put a photo in over here of the camera that we used, and maybe a link to Amazon so you can have a look yourself. But as I said, for £9, you know, they do work. They are a little bit fussy. Mixed reviews on them. The other thing with the third roll, the last one I developed, I can see where the section at the end is all black and it was definitely exposed. But then the next segment, it looks like there may have been a light leak in the camera, judging from the state of the negative. And then there's a few pictures at the end that look like they may be usable, or somewhat usable. So yeah, kind of mixed reviews with these cameras. But anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff for me. And yeah, and I hope it, as I said, I hope it was useful for you. Anyways, I'll put a few photos in here now. You'll see them, whatever ones might be useful, and just give you an idea of what was done in the evening. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.